Hello guys, this is the episode number 33, that is February 9th, which we are trying to catch up for the Hindu editorial series. So hope you are all watching it. As of now, it is not there in Hindi medium, it is only in English medium, but it's in simple English and taken from the Hindu paper directly, so you will be able to understand if you are reading the paper yourself. So here, if you see, email and Instagram is given, and you have to connect with us, and that is where we give all the updates. Especially in WhatsApp, you will message us, and immediately the next second you get a reply. Okay. And if you are looking for test series, that is 2022 aspirant you are, and the next 4 months you want to clear this exam, there is a test series and study timetable plan. So you can WhatsApp us as prelims final, and I'll give you the details of how to join. Now we'll see the agenda for today. All the articles are not important, so we'll first see which all articles we'll discuss in detail. So these two are comparatively I'll tell you, because it's the NEET exam. Okay, Tamil Nadu has passed a bill to avoid it from being implemented in their state, because they had their own other schemes of admissions to the medical institutions, and that in detail in another editorial already it's discussed. Now we'll discuss actually the chief minister himself, and in the parliament, sorry, in their state legislature, they have explained in detail like how Tamil system is better and all these things. Okay, so it's a little powerful speech kind of thing, but I'll tell you the important points from there. Then this one is about football, so it's not important for your exam. And this is about the GS3 paper, agriculture. Some important points are there about the like India being lagging behind other Eastern Asian countries. So that detailing and statistics we'll see. Then here, if you see, this is Telangana CM told a bizarre statement like we have to rewrite the constitution. There are many things which is making center stronger than the states and all these things. So it's a just a statement from him. Okay. And this is again the attendance of the people in parliament and parliamentary committees. It is a continuation of the yesterday also the same chart came, but this is an extension of that. Okay, not important. Then this is like whether tax benefits should be given for charity. Okay, because charity people do out of their heart, and also why should government give tax benefits? So it's a little philosophical article, and this is next one is also a very philosophical article. Okay, these two actually important points alone I'll tell. I would suggest you read it yourself, this one, because it is not like any political thing like right and duty and all. It is telling in a philosophical essay type. Okay, because you saw in essays, UPSC is asking questions like rights and duties are correlated. Okay, just one statement will be given, and you have to write for that much big marks and that much pages of essay you have to write. So that time to get points, you will get a lot of things from here. Okay, it's purely philosophical article, not a political article. Okay, so if you are new to this channel, please subscribe. And also our faculties, everybody are doing free lectures in both Vysh IAS and Vysh courses channel. In Vysh courses also news updates comes in both English and Hindi, and these are the articles which are not the editorial ones. Okay, so see to it that you are watching these series. And foundation also is the first thing which you should get if you are coming to this channel for the first time. Okay, so you can message me, I'll give you in English also, in Hindi also, and both will be enough for you to understand that you can sit and study at home itself. There is no requirement of any coaching. You just have to enroll to some test series where prelims or mains answer writing. That's the only thing you need to join. Don't enroll to a full-fledged class. Maybe optional certain subjects will be there like world history or something specific. If something is being offered, that you can join. Please don't join that 1 lakh 2 lakh rupees in coaching institute. That system and all is now outdated and is not required. Okay, everything what they teach you, I'll teach you for free in these things. Okay, so please contact us. And these are the lecture playlist thumbnails. So everything again, history and geography, polity, environment, everything we are doing in Hindi and English. But when your response is less, those episodes will be halted. Okay, and when you start commenting and liking again I'll tell my teachers to continue that. Okay, because we cannot ask them to waste their efforts on a playlist which is not getting a response. So please see to it that you are commenting and liking, and the series will automatically continue. Okay, so we'll start with the first article for today, which I told as the Tamil Nadu's speech, where he's telling like, see, honorable Speaker of the House, elections were held. They're telling about the history of Tamil Nadu and all in the starting, telling like how great is Tamil Nadu. So in the 1920s, Justice Party was there, pioneer of their Dravidian movement and all. They formed the government in the 1920, meaning that time when elections happened, out of 98 seats, I think around 60 something they won, and they formed government even when the British was ruling entire India. Okay, so they are telling how the history is, and also province of Madras, that is the place where the first election happened. People voted, and also people who traveled from England and came to India and all told. The working of the Madras Provincial Assembly remarked that the Madras province is the only province in India governed by the rule of law and administrative protocols. So they're telling how systematic and administrative processes used to happen that time. Okay. So here he's telling we are here not only to talk about the NEET exam. Okay, we are here to defend the democracy, preserve the democracy's dignity, uphold the principle of federalism, and secure the right of education. Okay, meaning preserve the Tamil Nadu's legislature sovereignty and rights. So we have to safeguard the ethnic, linguistic, cultural diversity, and the great federal philosophy should remain intact. Okay, federalism should be there in our country. So like this, he gave a big start to the speech, which is actually good speech. Okay, I would say the way he has told, it's a very good speech. So assembly can and will definitely eliminate the social injustice of NEET and will propose a policy of social justice in education for the entire country. Okay, so he's telling NEET is not a system which is established by the constitution. It is not a part of the constitution. Only the Medical Council of India mandated this creation of NEET, and it was proposed first, not now. Okay, in 2010 it was proposed. That time also the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister opposed it, and many other states also opposed it. And it was challenged in 115 cases also in the Supreme Court, and finally Supreme Court itself told it is unconstitutional. Okay, in 2013 it was told it is unconstitutional, and it was abolished across the Indian subcontinent. But when BJP came to power in 2014, a private training institute reopened that case again, and it again went to Supreme Court, and they told, okay, judgment is recalled, we will hear this case afresh from the starting. Okay, in 2016 what happened is the BJP government, as part of an ordinance, told like NEET is implemented. Okay, so this ordinance way, whenever a bill is fast tracked or moved, always it creates problems. Okay, because it's not discussed properly in the parliament, it is not discussed, it's not opposed, the view of public is not taken. So it's always a problematic thing. So this is how this NEET was implemented across the country in 2016. So private training institute obviously will benefit because it's a competitive exam, and you know how coaching institutes and all make money. I told you in the starting also. So that is how they are going to benefit. And people who cannot afford to pay for this training and all, they will suffer. That is the poor and the needy people. And it's like a barrier wall placed in the name of NEET. They cannot get into the education admissions. And NEET is not a holy cow or something. Okay, it attempts to marginalize students from low income families in the guise of merit. Okay, in the name of merit is what it was brought in, but that is actually spoiling the system which is already there in Tamil Nadu. That system I'm not explaining now. That is already done in a detailed editorial few days back. Please watch all the episodes in February. You will get the answer for that. Okay, so they are demanding an exemption, and that is why the bill name is also like that. Okay, NEET exemption bill. I'll tell you in the next slide. So in June 19, 2021, a committee, okay, you have to remember the High Court judge is leading that committee, A.K. Rajan. He was investigating this issue, and he, in July 14, 2021, that is almost after a month, he gave a report, a detailed 193-page report, and claimed that government school students were unable to follow their dreams of pursuing a medical education. I have formed a committee under the leadership of Chief Secretary, meaning the CM is again telling we have formed another committee also, which will again look into this report. And after careful consideration, the bill exempting Tamil Nadu from NEET was enacted by the Assembly. Okay, so the bill is passed in the Assembly, but again problem will come. I'll tell you how. Because when a bill is done, finally it has to get approval from the governor or the president. Okay, so that and all polity part, you have to go and see Article 200 and all, you will understand what it is. So now NEET exemption bill was passed with the support of all the members of this house, with the exception of 4 BJP members. That is obvious. Then it has to be approved by the honorable governor and should have sent to the honorable president for his approval. This is the process, bill passing procedure. You will go and study in chapter number 22 is for parliament, and some 26 or something is for state. Okay, so go and read that chapter in Lakshmikant. So he kept it pending for 142 days before reaching a decision, meaning governor kept the bill simply like that, and then he returned it. Okay, returned to the assembly itself. And the reasons were not properly given. It was incorrect reasons what was given. Now this Justice Rajan committee, they're telling what all it included. It included academic people, government officials, study of reference was there. It was made to public feedback was taken. Everything was done. Everybody expressed their thing, and finally only this bill was drafted. Then why should governor return such a bill? Okay, NEET has limited the diversity of community representation in MBBS and higher medical course by impeding the desire of those underprivileged of receiving medical education and favoring the socio-economically rich sections, okay, because they'll get training and coaching and all, and they will pass these exams. Now, according to survey, government school children, those whose parents' annual income is less than 2.5 lakh, the backward class, the most backward class, the SC and ST, these are the most affected people through this NEET exam concept. Okay, but governor criticized the NEET, the study which was done for this, and told like it is against the merit system. Okay, and he was rejecting the report made by A.K. Rajan committee. Now, if you see, Tamil Nadu government schools are getting harmed, and now a five-judge Supreme Court bench heard a matter again versus Madhya Pradesh government. One case was there. There also it was made clear the state government has the power to legislate on students' admission to higher education institutions. Okay, so education, you go and find out whether it is union list, state list, or concurrent list. But here the court has told the state has the power when it comes to higher education's admissions and all. State has the power. Now, separate judgment was there in another Bhanumati case also. These are all important. Okay, make note of these cases so that in exam you can quote these. Okay, so law regulating student admission was within the jurisdiction of the state government. So both the cases told the same thing only. Okay, legislature power of the state is there. Now, governor urged that NEET be made mandatory by the constitution. Okay, so here again, they are comparing all these things. Constitution is anti-discriminatory, but NEET is discriminatory. The NEET is opposed to social justice. NEET favors the rich. NEET is opposed to all the constitutional fundamental right. So here they are telling both the things. Okay, what is constitution? What is NEET? So like the comparison they have given, I have underlined only the NEET part of it. Okay, so they are requesting a exemption bill now. Okay, the legislature sovereignty has been brought into question. Why? Because the bill was returned. Like the state, everybody are okay with it and they're passing it. The governor's job is just to send it to the president, but he is questioning that. Okay, so the autonomy of state has been questioned. Constitutionally mandated relationship between union and state government is being like affected. So we passed the bill on September 13, 2021 itself, and then governor is keeping it for 142 days and is not giving to the president. So I hope that the governor will respect the sentiments of the people of Tamil Nadu, and in the best interest of the Tamil Nadu students, they will be sending it to the president without any further delay. Okay, and urge everyone to support the bill in order to defend the right to education. Okay, so this is what the speech by the CM. So again, as I told, it's a speech format, but it was a very powerful speech. So you got a lot of cases, you got a lot of Supreme Court verdicts. So all these things you can use it in your exam when it comes to the NEET kind of thing, or in interview also. If you are from Tamil Nadu, especially, they are going to ask you question. Okay, not only Tamil Nadu, South India, or anywhere you are, they will be asking question. You have to use these things to justify your answer. Okay. Now, agriculture GS3 paper. So the budget, okay, budget, if you see, there has been overall decline in certain sectors, and that the author is not happy. So he's telling certain things. Okay, overall budgetary allocation towards the agriculture sector has marginally increased. Okay, but if you compare with the inflation rate, this much is not enough. Okay, inflation rate is at 5.5 to 6%. So that kind of increase should be there in the budget also, but it increased only to 4.4%. Okay, now FAO's report is there. FAO is a UN body. So in the report shows that India is among the top 10 countries in terms of government spending in agriculture. Okay, around 7.3% is there. But if you compare to other countries, even low income countries, India is lagging behind. Okay, India has 7.3% of government expenditure, but this Malawi, Mali, Bhutan, Nepal, all these people have even higher, even Guyana, China, all these people have higher expenditure share when it comes to agriculture share. Okay, now there is an index which is a new thing for you, maybe agriculture orientation index, and this was prepared as part of the goal 2, that is zero hunger goal, which we have in this SDG goals, 30 SDG goals, which was made in 2015, 2030 agenda. So this, as part of this, an index is formed. Okay, I tell you what is this index, but this is formed. Okay, now this, this goal is emphasizes an increase in investment in rural infrastructure, agriculture research, extension services, deployment of technology to enhance agriculture. All these things, poverty, agriculture, hunger related, everything is related to goal 2. Okay, so how is this agricultural orientation index calculated? This is calculated by dividing two things. Okay, dividing agricultural share of government expenditure. Okay, like above I told you how much share is there, by the agriculture value add share of the GDP. Meaning you are measuring the ratio between the government spending towards the agriculture sector and the sector's contribution to GDP. Meaning when you put some money, it should convert into profit and GDP, right? That ratio. Okay, so India's index is actually one of the lowest, reflecting that spending towards the agriculture sector is not commensurate with the sector's contribution towards GDP. So it is not in a proper ratio, and it is the lowest. Okay, so more investment should be there. The numerator should be higher. That is, agriculture share of government expenditure should be higher. Only then the index will go higher. But now index is the lowest, and it is saying that it is showing some improvement since 2000. But in Asia wise, if you see, India's is one of the lowest. Asia as a whole is performing much more better, and highest performances by Eastern Asian countries, which you can tell, like Singapore, China, all those sites. Okay, Korea, Vietnam, and similarly in countries such as Republic of Korea, the value of AOA has been greater than 1 and greater than 2 since 2005. So that's like going in a positive note. Even landlocked countries like Africa, which is Zambia, and it is low income country also, there also they are spending too much. Okay, and India holds a 38th rank in the world, is despite India being like the agrarian economy, most of the people are dependent on agriculture still. Okay, and we are also the largest producer and consumer of most of the crops in the world, and still we are in the 38th rank. So that is not a good sign. Okay, now here, now it's all numbers like total cereals and all, like how much you produce. So we are spending too much East Asian countries is spending even much, and there obviously production is very high. Okay, like in India, the cereal yield is around this much, 3,000 something kilo, but in Asia it is 4,000, and in Eastern Asia specifically it is 6,000. So they are showing the comparison. Okay, India is very low. In China also the land holding and all is very less by the people, but still they have much more better yield, they have much more better price, much more better things. So these all numbers are not important, but you understand India is low, and both India and China are among the world's largest producer of wheat, rice, cotton, maize, etc. Okay, and now the fund allocated to this crop insurance, the MSP, everything has been slashed in the recent times. Okay, the market intervention scheme, the price support scheme, everywhere is lesser, 62% less than the previous allocation and the previous estimates. Okay, this is what has happened. And if you see this one, Pradhan Mantri Annadata Ay Sanrakshan Abhiyan, PM Asha scheme, this also there has been reduction to 1 crore. Earlier it was like 400 crore, so that much reduction has happened. Okay, then all these are important if you need procurement, and the farmers insurance, farmers benefit and all is very, very important. The distribution of pulses to states for welfare scheme has also been reduced to 9 crore. Earlier it was 50 crore, before it was 300 crore. So it is, everything is reduction. Okay, it's not like just agriculture we are telling, we are going down, deep down into each of the schemes. So everywhere if you see there is a reduction, because this time more and more fund has been allocated for capital sector. Okay, so here if you see, they are telling capital investment is one answer you can tell when you argue. Okay, we have put lot of thing in the capital investment, but again, capital investment specifically in agriculture is not being put. Okay, that is what the author is telling. You have put capital investment, but it's for other road, railway sector, everything and all, but not for agriculture sector. Okay. Now, allocation for rural development was 5.59% in the previous budget, and it has been reduced to 5.23%. Okay, so that also has been reduced. Now, the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi scheme is the PM Kisan scheme. Okay, then PN Kisan, this Manthan Yojana, everything they are telling will not result in long run asset generation. Okay, you are just looking for immediate solutions, or giving subsidies, or making people happy, but the long term asset generation will not work. Okay, this is the thing which the author is telling. So the intensification in government spending towards the agriculture sector is the key to attain sustainable development goals. Okay, you have to intensify the spending. Okay, and the focus should be on everything: irrigation, urban infrastructure, national highways, and rural transport, market, this thing, and whatever is suggested by the National Commission on Farmers. All these things should be focused. Okay, these measures will play a crucial role in enhancing farmers' access to markets and integrating small and marginal farmers into agriculture supply chain to a greater extent. So they are telling all these measures should be considered. Now, the next two articles I told is philosophy. Okay, I'll just tell you important points, else the important articles are already over. Now, rights and duties, they are linked to one another. Okay, no rights without duties. A person has the right to something, someone else has the right to corresponding duty also. Okay, meaning, example, they are telling individual has the right to free speech, but the duty of the state is there. Whenever there is a right, there is an opposite duty also. Okay, people has the right to free speech, state has a duty to prevent its infringement, meaning you cannot tell whatever you want on the road, or to your father or your mother, you cannot tell whatever you want. Okay, so there is a right also, there is an opposite duty also. Okay, same like religious freedom also, there is a right for particular religion, but there is other groups or other religion which has certain duty also to not cross it, or not go against it. Okay, so government should help fixing all these kind of problems. Okay, right versus duty thing. They're showing examples of Sikhs and Muslims and all across country. So that are not important. I'll tell you only the important lines. But as I told, the article you yourself, if you read, you will find like how you will understand how to write an essay. Meaning a simple line of right versus duty. They've extended it to like pages and pages. Okay. So if I have rights which impose duty on others, then others also have rights that enforce duty on me. Okay. I mean your right is somebody else's duty. Okay. It will counter. Okay. So we are all rights as well as duty bearing individuals. Rights cannot be exercised without the simultaneous performance of duties. No opposition between them exists. We must focus on duties rather than on rights. Make no sense. This is because Prime Minister recently told, okay, in I think Republic Day or something, he told like we should focus on duties and not rights. So that the author did not like, and is telling like duty is actually forced upon the weaker people, and rights is all enjoyed by the higher class. So that now they will go to the history of India and all these things and all, and they will tell certain things here. Okay. So duty against rights. Rights continue to entail duties, but in deeply hierarchical, inegalitarian, meaning non-equal, okay, unequal societies, only a few people have rights, while the many have duties. Okay, to ensure the proper exercise of the rights of these few. So they are telling like from family they are starting, like in patriarchal family, father alone has the right to take decisions, and all the other members are now having a duty. Okay, he has the right to make decision, but all the others have duty to abide by the decision. So in the family, so they're telling this movie of DDLJ and all, telling like what happened, how father decides everything, others have to just obey. So father has the right, but all the others have duty. Meaning whoever is lower than you, they are having duties. Okay, so the Prime Minister's statement of focus on more duties is making people lower than him. That is what the author is coming to a conclusion. Okay, so much the same true for caste-ridden society. So from family, now he's going to society. Okay, the author. So again, misconception in some Hindu Varna Vyavastha and all the Shudras, Atishudras, these people had a lot of duties to protect the rights of the higher class people. Okay, they're telling everything was unequal there, and here somewhere it will be written, okay, the infringement of right, like the Brahmin people, all these people made the others work. Okay, and if you violate, okay, if you the larger population has a lot of duties, and if they violate any of the duty, they will have penalty also, and they will be even sentenced to death also. Okay, so Brahmins have all the rights and the lower caste has all the duties. So this kind of problem happened. That is there in the Islamic society also. Okay, where there is gender specific thing, where everything will be like for men. Okay, like whether you are going the testimony, the judgment day, then the getting Jannat, all these things, whatever they have. Also the dress code, which you see now, the hijab controversy going on. That also, in another sense, if you take the freedom which females has, is much lesser compared to male in the Muslim community. So like this Hindutva in Hindu caste problems also is like the same. Islamic, this thing also same. So everywhere there is unequalness, which you see. Okay, nowhere is like male and female are equal. Okay, or the Brahmin and SC are equal. Okay, so in absolute monarchy also, the king has unrestricted rights. Okay, everything, but all the others have duties. Okay, they have to do so, because of hierarchy wise, if you see, the higher person has rights and the lower one has duty. Now those are the bottom maximum of duty. Priority of duty over right is rampant in egalitarian societies. Okay, again, unequal societies. So in hierarchical, in egalitarian societies where power is unevenly distributed, duties are often seen in opposition to rights. So as I told, the same thing he's writing again and again, round and round. So careful attention to the structure of rights and duties in this unequal society reveals its deep connection to social and political power. The power has rights. Those without it has duties. Okay, again the same thing. The one who has power has rights, others have duties. Transformation from hierarchian to an egalitarian, meaning an equal thing, does not produce a power-free order. Instead, at least in principle, such changes generates a democratic distribution of powers. Okay, meaning he's telling, now suppose we shift it from hierarchical to equal society. Okay, but that doesn't mean that everything is going to shift opposite, meaning one will get duties and other rights. That will not swap from each other, but instead we'll have a democratic distribution of power at least. Okay, meaning everybody has equal rights and duties. That kind of system at least will come. Okay, in egalitarian polities, more power means more duties. The powerless have rights, the powerful have duties. Okay, so they are telling the opposite way now. The duty of the state to ensure that there is no poverty, disease, or unemployment. Okay, so powerless now has rights and the powerful has duties. This is what is expected. Okay, because the government is the one should have more duties. They should solve all these problems of people, and the powerless one or the normal people should have all the rights to get to this. Okay, so now he is just telling the full opposite of what we discussed in the last slide. Now, duty is beyond rights. One cannot altogether deny the importance of a moral discourse that asks people to attend to the duties. Example, they are telling, a surgeon performs an operation. Okay, so his duty is to do the operation, surgery, and success or whatever, he will do that and he will go away. He has no commitment or duty that he has to go and interact with the patient's family, or he has to see how much anxious they are, like whether he should pacify them. This and all is not part of his duty. There is no legal law, there is no moral law, nothing is there. It's on his thing. Okay, and so if he does this, he brings warmth to the interaction. Okay, his act flows from the duties that are integral to his character. Okay, it's not like because there is a right, as I told in the first one we discussed, whenever there is a right, there is a duty. Okay, so here patient has the right to get the treatment from the this thing, but his duty doesn't include this kind of extended thing. Okay, it does not flow from any right of the patient. No right of the patient or his family is violated if the surgeon does not go that extra mile to personally reassure the patient and his family. Okay, so now you saw this slide, this whatever is written had no connection with anything which was told in the earlier things and all. But in essay, this is how you have to go. You have to switch from paragraph to paragraph with different dimensions to dimension, and examiner will not mind it. Okay, you have to extend it as long as possible. From the family, he took to society, then he took the opposite of right and duty, and now he's telling a surgeon level example. So like this, you have to keep writing. Okay, 8-9 pages if you write, then you will get the full, at least half the marks of essay they'll give. Okay, because they'll never give full marks, UPSC. Now, we all have a duty to build a tolerant society or to remain vigilant or alert against potential wrongs of our elected rulers. So duties are there. They are moral, non-justiciable. Many such duties are mentioned in our constitution, like, preserve composite culture, not destroy natural environment, develop scientific temper, safeguard public property, protect India's sovereignty. These are all our fundamental duties, if you know. None of them are legally enforceable, but they impose an obligation on all citizens. So this is what the Prime Minister also told. There is an obligation that you have to do your duties, and so you should be doing that. Okay, so that again, I have told only very minimal points from that article. You have to read it yourself to get the essay kind of feel. Okay, now tax benefits on charity, last article. So here people, people donate charity, but they are not doing it to get tax benefits. They are doing it because they want to do it. Okay, so should we need that? Okay, why then are the tax incentive needed for the charity sector? Why should the government forego revenue, meaning let off all this revenue, because you will get a lot of revenue by not giving these incentives? Why are you doing this? Okay, so we don't know the answer. That is the first thing itself he's telling. There is no answer, proper answer to it. But there are studies conducted, okay, based on this. Like in 12 countries, this is Center for Social Impact and Philanthropy, this body has conducted. But India specific, nothing was there, okay, properly. Even though India is included in this 12 countries, India specific thing is not done. Earlier in 70s and 80s, there is a study data where incentives for philanthropy, that time was different, okay, because that time tax was very low. Okay, so the scenario is different. You cannot use that data now to check the present context. Okay, that is the starting para of this article. Now, if you see, tax incentive for charity also have a long history. Okay, from the 19th century itself, it is there. Brazil had a restrictive tax incentive regime that time itself in the olden days. And studies, if you see, as I told, it's purely studied in all these countries. But in UK and USA, there are some studies. Okay, and they are just comparing whether when you give tax incentive, whether this thing is increasing, the charities thing is increasing, whether the people is happy, are they contributing more and more? That kind of number-wise studies. Okay, econometric studies have been done in UK and USA, and that is the best available in the world as of now. Okay, and this depends on the availability of tax and donor data to researchers. Okay, so you need all that data. How much is the tax? How much is the charity? Only then you can calculate all these things. But the non-monetary impact, okay, that is not deeply examined. Other things, whether there is a relationship building up between the government and between the state and the NGOs or the civil society or the corporate, whether that is there, that is not being studied anywhere. Okay, or whether there is improving the financial health, the stability of the companies, the stability of the government, the people. These kind of studies are not there. Okay, in India also, if you see, many NGOs are working in very small budgets, like 15 lakh per year kind of thing, and the distribution is also very like squeezed here and there. In UP, there are many NGOs, small NGOs, and they work majorly on health and education only, not any other sector. So this is the scenario in India. Okay, for small NGOs and all, the tax incentive will be still important. Okay, even though they don't get too much incentive and all because this thing is small, but still establishing legal recognition. Okay, at least when you go and tell like okay, we are getting tax incentive, it's like a recognition, meaning government has recognized us and our NGO work is good. Okay, so that legal recognition you get, that is why for them also it is important. Okay, so now if you see, civil society organization, historically have played a very like irreplaceable role in this thing, because government can only implement scheme, but taking it to the people's level or scaling it to get the support of people, and then the energy, the volunteers, all these things are done by NGO. Okay, they are giving example also. Some Rishi Valley in Tamil Nadu had a activity based learning approach and all in 2000. So this also shows that government can only implement schemes, but the scaling up is done by NGOs and civil societies in the ground level. Okay, so important role of tax incentive as the regulatory and legal link is there. As I told, they will get a legal link that we are being recognized by the government. Okay, it denotes that the state supports philanthropic activity. A systematic study of the impact of tax incentive is the need of the hour. Like I told, now we don't have a proper study in India based on anything. Okay, we can follow UK USA model or something and build our own data. Then countries like France and all, they have a credit based system instead of this money tax deduction and all. They have a credit based system which is actually working better. That is what the author is telling. It is more equitable, and it's not the deduction based tax system which is there in India, which only favors the high income donors and all. Okay, it is a credit based system, so everybody gets kind of equal credit. So that is the thing which you can adopt. And in UK and US also, they suggest that the high income donors, they are more sensitive to the tax incentives. Okay, so you have to take a relook at reinstating other categories of tax also. Like I told, when you give incentives, what happens is government loses a lot of money. So you should bring back other things like wealth tax, inheritance tax and all. So from the richer class and all, you can get all these things. Okay, only the charity focused tax incentive, these things cannot be the thing which government can focus. Okay, and our new tax regime, the author is telling, has diluted many things, like diluted the state civil society relationship by giving the donors to opt out of the incentive. Okay, such as something is there, it seems there, people can opt out of all these incentives for lower tax rates, meaning you will be charged very less tax only. So instead of giving incentive, you will be paying a smaller tax. Okay, so that is what the new model, and that also author is not much happy. Okay, this is what, as I told, it's a exam point of view, I didn't find very interesting article, but still you get a idea of like the studies and all going on related to the tax and charity. So again, as I told, if you are looking for 2022 test series, please WhatsApp in this number. I'll give you the details of how to enroll, and you can get the editable timetable and 120 days plan with the weekly test. Okay, so subscribe to this channel. I'll come with the next video. Thank you and have a nice day.